Welcome back to the BookEnds YouTube channel. We've got a great question from Instagram, Studio Bows Art. They asked, what's the most amazing deal you were able to get for a client, and what is a realistic or moderate goal for your negotiations?
We're
So
going to trick you on this one.
naturally, us being us, we're gonna be a little annoying. I think the point of this video is that what makes an amazing book deal is not A, is not just the advance, and B is not the same for everyone. So I think those are the two biggest myths about that's an amazing book deal that we want to dispel right off the bat. And then we want to talk a little bit about the things that we're considering when we're going into negotiations and what might make a great book deal for you or for another author or any author.
You know, what's funny is when I first read this, I thought they want us to give numbers, and I'm not comfortable just throwing out like, oh, the $1 million deal. But when I thought about what specifically would have been my most amazing deals, they're very often the smallest deals I made. So for me, way back when, one of my most amazing deals came absolutely out of the blue for a nonfiction book that had been sitting on an editor's bookshelf for, not joking, 2 years. We had quit, we had moved on, we were doing other things, and out of the blue, I get this call that they wanted to buy this book. And
Yeah.
it was amazing because it was something that we thought was dead. We thought we are going to have to, we had forgotten. We had literally forgotten about.
That is, I think to me, that's the most amazing thing. Like, I had put a book out on submission. It was out there for over a year. The author had written 2 other things. We were on submission with something else. And then the book went for almost 6 figures. And I was like, whoa. And then that feeling is what makes it amazing.
Yeah.
But I think it was not necessarily even the advance that does it, right? Like, it could be the book number, how many books they bought. It could be the publisher. Sometimes the publisher is what makes it amazing. Like, oh my God, you're publishing with them. I love their list. That's who I want to be with. That's my dream publisher. There are so many different things that we're looking at that makes it amazing to us or amazing to the author. And it's always going to be subjective.
Yeah, and I would say probably the most amazing deals are so much entirely client-based and author-based.
Yeah.
I had an author who I'd been working with, maybe it was 5 years, and we finally got that first offer, and that phone call was just incredible, and again, not a big deal. But to be honest, a lot of the most amazing deals aren't the big deals, they're the deals that launch an author's career. So typically they're the first deals, and typically those are not big.
Or the first deal after a long time. Like, oh, this
Yes.
author, we put 5 books out and nothing sold. And then this one book hits and it sells. And that's the most amazing deal. It's like, finally.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is like personal, I don't want to say satisfaction, but like, I don't know what the word is, but it's like that personal thing that's been checked off, right?
Yeah.
Like restarting my career, changing the genre, getting a 6-figure deal. For some people, that's it. Landing with Berkeley, or those things are what makes an amazing deal.
Yeah, I had a client that I believed so passionately in their book, and I knew when I took it on it was going to be a hard sell. But I also knew that this was a book that was really going to be a change maker. And when I finally, after I think it was a year, got that offer, and that was amazing to me because I knew from the drop that that was really going to be a hard sell. So it made it all the more amazing when it did sell.
Also, we are human, and sometimes there's just a book that I'm like, that is my favorite thing ever. And when you
Yeah.
sell it, it's like, yes, I did it. It's amazing. I made that deal happen, or we made that deal happen.
Yeah.
And that is the most amazing deal. Just like that book of, a lot of authors use it, but they're like, book of your heart, the one
Yeah.
that's like, oh, that has to sell. And when
Yeah.
you finally do it, whether it takes 2 weeks or it takes 2 years, that could
Yeah.
be the most amazing book deal we've ever gotten.
Yeah. And there are a ton of things that we negotiate and consider when negotiated that can make a book amazing. And advance is one of them, which is what everybody thinks about. But, one of the things that can make a deal, long time ago, it was an author's debut deal. All of my stories are a long time ago because I'm ancient, apparently. But I actually think in a lot of ways it's the market has changed so much that some of these things don't happen quite that way anymore. But um, I had an author's debut out. It was a cozy mystery, and the idea was really great. And the deal was for 6 books right off the bat, which meant this author had 6 years of a writing career nailed down with one deal. And for me, when I sell some authors, I feel like that 5 book mark, when you get that 5th book sold, like that's a big like celebration point for me and for the author. I'm like, you now have 5 books. This was one deal, boom. We got so
There's
many
one
things
that,
done.
and one that I always talk about was the infamous BookEnds 10 book deal that when I was an intern, I remember learning about. And then what made it even better was the infamous second 10 book deal that I
Yes.
was like, those things are just like, whoa, like you won't forget it.
No, no, you absolutely
Or an
won't.
auction, when an auction goes really well, or maybe an
Yeah.
auction goes terribly. And
Yeah.
then like we sold it by the grace of I don't know, but we sold it.
Right.
There's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, so I don't know that we have a most amazing deal. I don't think we have a most amazing deal, and I think that I know I don't have one, but I'm an impossible person when it comes to pick just one question.
I do think though the I think the message of our video is like not be happy with what you get, but like be proud of what you get. And I think find the things about the offer or the deal that you've accepted that are amazing. Because I think you're always going to play that comparison game. And this is something we talk about a lot on the channel,
Yeah.
is like
Mhm.
comparison in publishing. It really is the thief of all joy and pride and success, I think. I think an author who is comparing themselves to another author will almost always get their feelings hurt. So find the things about your deal that you are proud of and excited of. Push towards the things that maybe you think could have been better, maybe in your next deal or maybe even in this deal. Push for the things that you wish that you were getting. But the most amazing deal you can get is the one you got, really.
Yeah. Think of all the people who never get deals. But also, I agree with you on the comparison thing. I mean, some of my happiest clients got the smallest deals with the smallest publishers, but they are being treated like kings and queens and are the happiest.
But to that point, like anything is possible. Anything is possible in a deal, right? Like we have seen some huge numbers in an advance. We have seen like really fascinating announcements where every territory under the sun has an edition being published. Like we have pretty much seen it all in a deal, right? Like the whole Lee Bardugo 8-figure deal. We've seen it all. But anything is possible within your deal too. Like
Mhm.
anything is possible in your $2,000 advance that TikTok could take it and it can just go crazy on TikTok. And then you might
Yeah.
get all this stuff, right? Like all of these things could happen within that deal that happened within $1 million deal.
Yep. Yeah. That's it.
So not to completely shut down this question, but
Well,
thank
we
you.
don't really know what they were looking for. We assume money because we always assume that, but
I think
we
we
don't
spun
know.
the whole question on its head.
Yeah,
And
we
thank
did.
you for asking it because I think it made a really important video and one I hope the message reaches all authors because it is really useful as you start building your career. So,
And good luck on your amazing deal.
yes, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you back here next week.